I think we're ready to rock officially. Hello, one. Hello, all. I'm obviously Alex from Podcast Now, but we have an incredibly special guest here. This guy is honestly, he does incredible stuff. I like to try to really pump up the other person. Does incredible stuff. His editing is on just another level. Benjamin Snow, I've been trying to get in contact with him for what seems like an eternity, but he is here. He's joining me live. You guys can subscribe to him. I know a lot of you were asking, like, you need to get Benjamin on, or when I see Ben, like when I see people talk about their favorite Hogwarts Legacy people, you're one that's always brought up. So I want to thank you for being here. I want to make sure, you guys that are not subscribed yet, his link, if you just hit the @ symbol in the description, it'll take you to his channel, and you guys can subscribe there. So Ben, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Alex. This is crazy. Like, I didn't really realize that my messages were kind of not limited for people for a while, and until you actually made that tweet like, hey, come on out, I'm like, oh, oopsie.
Sometimes you need to push just a little bit. No, I mean, I've always I've seen you here and there, and I've seen your name mentioned. I've watched your channel. I mean, you do incredible work, and you deserve more subscribers than you have, and you're gaining very quickly. So yeah, I was like, you know what, I need to have him on, so I need to pressure him a little bit, and his DMs aren't active, so I need to just at him, on Twitter. But welcome everybody in the chat. This is gonna go very much, I would imagine, like Expecto Go's interview. We're just gonna kind of bounce off each other. We haven't talked. We're both we make videos on Hogwarts Legacy, but we have never spoken one-on-one about some of our thoughts. So we'll go over like the ASMR stuff. Like we'll go over some of the newer stuff that's been bouncing around, but we'll also just talk about Hogwarts. We'll answer anything that you guys have to say. Of course, if you do super chats or anything like that, that bumps you up. I can see it, with people commenting so fast. So thank you to everybody for being here. And this is just the beginning. We had Expecto Go, we have Ben, and I fully intend and plan on having more. And we're going to try to get everybody together, which will be impossible, but we're going to try for some live event. So Ben, well, let me just kind of like a blanket statement to start us off here. Where are you? Like, what are your expectations? Or I guess, how excited are you sitting here July 29th? Like, you ready for Hogwarts Legacy?
I'm ready. At the same time, I'm super scared.
Yeah.
Like,
why are you scared? Why are you scared?
Well, because it's been so long.
Yeah.
We haven't had like a game like this.
Yeah.
Like we've been waiting for this forever, and now it's coming. It's like too good to be true. Like everything they've shown so far. Yeah. It's like the gameplay trailer is amazing. Every aspect that we've seen is just mind blowing, and you're like, I can't believe this. We're gonna be playing this game.
Yeah.
This holiday season.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm with you. I mean, there's I think, and we've talked about this kind of before. We've even mentioned like to Troy and stuff. Like there is, I think there's almost like there's a lot of confidence in them, and I feel like there's more confidence in them than like a normal AAA game. You know what I mean? For as big of a property and franchise as this is, I feel like people. Oh, I mean, I'm sure there's some. Like, I don't really go on the Reddit, and there's some pockets of Twitter, you try to avoid. But I'm sure people are skeptical. But I really feel like a sense of confidence from the community, kind of overwhelmingly. Now, that doesn't mean, and I've said it before, like, I'm not going to let them off the hook, right? I mean, if this game sucks, like, I've been always honest about my thoughts on it. But I just feel good. I think a lot of people felt good, at least ever since they came back, with the state of play and all that.
Right, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like before the state of play, people were getting angry that we are not having anything. People get worried. Oh no, the game is canceled. Everything. Oh no, the J.K. Rowling, whatever.
Yeah.
But then state of play changed everything. Like literally, like it was the game changer. Like meaning, it was everything in the gameplay. The way they put it together, the way they built the actual trailer.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah. It was incredible, and I give them so much credit. I mean, I was hard on them, and I think they deserved the – not deserve – well, if people took it too far for, like, attacks and threats, obviously not that. But, lightly jabbing on them that, like, hey, does this game even exist? And, like, the disappointment and lack of communication – I'm not afraid to say it. They sucked. They sucked for a long time, and it's not necessarily their fault with all the stuff that's happened. That happened with them, but they deserved a lot of that piling on in that year and couple months. But then when it came back, I mean, you just felt that energy change, and it didn't have to change as well as it did, right? Because that state of play didn't have to be as good as it was. But like you said, like it was honestly perfect. Where it like any doubters felt really good. Even and I saw, because I cover all these other games, a lot of people that never really cared about Hogwarts, they're like, wow, this game actually looks good. Like, this is on my radar now, and it never was.
Yeah, like I see now so many people commenting like, oh, they're not gamers, but they're willing to try Hogwarts Legacy, get a console for the first time. That's like mind blowing. That like they sold it that good. Yeah. And it's even before we had just the reveal trailer, that was already on its own. Oh yeah. Pretty good. Oh yeah. And it just like I wasn't able even to think beyond that like that before the state of play. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna see. I don't know, like I was scared that time, like I'm scared today seeing the actual game, but yeah, it was just amazing. Yeah, truly amazing.
I want to just answer if somebody how do I join your YouTube membership? So if you guys want to, there's super chats and all that stuff, but we do have the Patreon and YouTube memberships. If you just hit the join button, it's next to the subscribe button. There's a couple different tiers. I do exclusive stuff. Of course, we're in tough times with the economy and all that stuff, but if you want to throw a couple extra bucks, and honestly, and not just me, go to your favorite creator, subscribe to them, if you haven't already. I don't say that as like a cop-out thing. Support the people. If you can throw an extra couple bucks at anybody's way, do it. I'm not forcing, you keep your money, you do whatever you want with your money. I assume a lot of you guys are going to spend your money on Hogwarts, though. I think that's kind of fair to say. Well, Ben, what do you think about so I think like everybody is kind of just waiting for the mic to drop, or whatever the phrase may be, for the ASMR. So when do you think August kind of has to be it, right? Because I mean, they're not going to do it today. And, they're not going to do it over the weekend. That's just not how it goes. And then Monday is August. So do you think August is when we'll get that summer ASMR?
It could be, but also I'm thinking they released the spring one in June. It was already summer.
Yeah, they were a little late to the part,
are they going to do summer in September?
Yeah.
Are they going to, but maybe because they were kind of speeding up things and trying to catch up with all the media and all the things they have to release. Yeah, I feel like right now, or like August, when we're getting into August, that would be the perfect time. Yeah. And also in that new clip that was just posted. Yes. With that little statue. Yeah. So the soundtrack is what is it? It's a Mozart oh my thing, Lacrimosa, I think it's called. Something. And so it's someone deciphered it that there is 8/14 in it, which is a Sunday. I don't think that could be it. I mean, social media, the people that even run it, like they're not active on, but it could be that week. It could be that Monday or the Friday before. Man, that clip just alone was the music was so good. And the music in the wizarding world has always been like phenomenal. I always kind of to me, it's like an overlooked thing, including from myself, because I really, when I think about this game, I've never actually once talked about the music that I think is actually going to be, kind of epic. That's just and the ASMR, like I know people got things out of, like the last one. I don't care too much, but it's exciting to, it could happen. I could not even know about it, and it would be fine for me. But I know how many people are into it, and it really is going to signal, because this is kind of it. There could be a fall ASMR thing, but I mean, I really think, as we're seeing, now I don't know if this is going to happen. Let me actually pitch this to you. This is going to be just a out of left field question. So IGN does those IGN first features where they really go, and they're doing it for Gotham Knights in August. So this upcoming Monday is Gotham Knights. So Gotham Knights is October 25th, and then obviously Hogwarts maybe late November, early December. Do you think that we could see, because I just think once we hit September, the floodgates kind of open when we're going to get more consistent, and they're good, like the clips on Twitter and stuff, they're fine and they're awesome, but I mean like legitimate, these preview kind of things. I think September on is when the floodgates open. What do you think about, when do you, I guess, expect that we really start to find out some stuff? I think so. It's September would be a good time if there's a couple of months. They gotta we can probably start seeing some posters every now and like here in LA, at least I would see game posters, like when Shadow of War came out, they were posted like on the billboards. So September would be a good time, and they will ramp up with not just clips but more like more like trailers, more directed, more selling in the narrative in those trailers. Yeah, September sounds
I just feel like a return to Hogwarts day, and that can kind of be that can be your Kickstarter, and then you go on and in October. It'll be interesting, honestly. Go ahead.
They can totally do something right now because now Gollum is not releasing on September 1st. So it's free to do whatever. They should do an event. If they're obviously they're not going to release anything, or maybe they can announce the date.
They should. That's my long running theory. Is you either announce the date on September 1st, or if there's again, we don't know, and I'd love to know these answers. And I mean, Troy doesn't know. Right. Nobody's obviously ever going to say. But what is this contract with Sony? Are they allowed? Because, truthfully, it doesn't seem like they are allowed to do anything on their own. Twitter aside, Twitter doesn't truly count, though. We haven't seen them do anything in a big way that has not been attached to PlayStation, which is fine. It's just the way it is. But what does that mean? Can they give a release date on Twitter? Or does it have to be a PlayStation blog thing? Does it have to be tied to PlayStation? I feel the answer is yes, it does need to be tied. So to me, that kind of rules out September 1st, even though it's such a good day. It's such a perfect day. And not only that, it's an important day. And we talked about it, I think, in the last live stream, they do an actual event, right? They'll get the actors from Harry Potter, they'll do a thing. So it's an amazing day, and it lines up pretty well with the game probably comes out 3.5 months after. So even for the entire marketing thing, it works really well. If the game came out in May, Return to Hogwarts Day doesn't have as much, impact for Hogwarts Legacy. But I just feel that could be a day where they do something special on Twitter. And then maybe there's a PlayStation showcase, later in the month. But you're right. September is a little bit more dead. My question would be, when you're promoting it, do you kind of have to wait for Gotham Knights to go all the way? Because obviously they're not the same game, but they're still Warner Bros. So do you have to wait till the 26th of October, to really start? And I'm not saying do nothing, but for that next huge push, a preview event where somebody gets to play 4 hours of the game. Is that November? Do we have to wait that long?
That's a good question, because I was thinking about that myself. There are different IP, there are different niches in general. Yeah. But at the same time, that's Warner Brothers. And even though they have different teams working on those games, still they have, I think they would have some kind of priority list. Yeah. I feel like maybe once Gotham Knights is out, they're gonna go full blast. Yeah. It's only Hogwarts Legacy, only that. But I forgot. I lost.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I talk too much.
It's okay.
You interrupt me. I mean, this is a conversation. So if you want to interrupt me and you ask me a question, and we could do it the reverse. We do whatever you want.
Going back to that, I remember. Going back to, you said that if they can do anything on their own, on Twitter. Yeah. I feel thinking about contract-wise, just legally, their contract probably, they can announce anything. Yeah. On their own, as long as it's not with any other company but Sony. Okay, I'm thinking possible. That legal contract could have been formalized that way, where Sony would be okay with that. Okay, you can release stuff on your own, but never with anyone else. Right. Yeah. So that's more reasonable.
Yeah, and I think you could still do it on Return, because you could, like I said,
why waste an opportunity? Yeah. Do an event, release the date, say we're gonna have this box set, collector's edition, this thing, you can buy it here, and there. There you go. Yep. Pre-order it today.
And if the contract says so, you can have a PlayStation blog at the same time, which is what they did for the State of Play. Yeah. God of War did that when God of War, re-revealed itself and gave the date. There's a PlayStation blog always with it. I honestly, because that's the thing that, and people always ask, I don't know if you ever get it, but I still get it. Is this game just on PlayStation? It's that psychological kind of thing. These companies, it's the way Sony wants people to identify, Harry Potter or Hogwarts with PlayStation. So it's such a smart move for them.
And also very reassuring, because if Sony wants that title to be associated with them, that means they are confident in the quality of that product.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they, I think if you could get like the Wizarding World, like the brand and the IP, if you could just get that and maybe get Avalanche along with it, I think Sony would probably want it pretty badly to buy.
So many companies are drooling right now. I'm sure, like, whenever this was pitched and someone was grabbing, it's like, you know, what was Microsoft denied Marvel's Spider-Man?
They denied the Knights of the Old Republic, so they denied Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
there could have been some Spider-Man stuff going on too back in the day. Yeah, I know the companies probably just feel very dumb about themselves once they let an opportunity pass.
So yeah, like I feel like after Hogwarts Legacy is released, I think it's gonna go phenomenal.
Yeah.
And that will open doors for other companies to create spin-offs or other, because like creating this in this time safe timeline, right, where they can kind of explore different little things, will give ideas to other creators. Okay, we can also travel in time into different pockets and create something unique, or even multiplayer or Quidditch or whatever. It will, I'm sure it happened. I feel like it's the new era of the Wizarding World, and in gaming specifically. Yeah. So, and maybe even movies.
Oh, yeah. Well, so do you well, I guess that's kind of the question. You think, I fully believe, I said even to like Troy this, it's like when this game comes out, the game, number one, is going to sell. I think you and I are on board with that. And I do think it's the beginning, because, you know, with the port key stuff, they already want it to be like, you know, multiple things. When this game sells, that is the floodgate of all they have to do is just like Marvel has done, DC, it seems like they are doing, just let companies do it. You know, you have to just give them out. You're going to get some bad ones, like you will. Some will miss. But, you know, you're going to have maybe 1 or 2 Wizarding World games a year, and that builds the brand, and that, I mean, it does a lot. It did it for Star Wars back in the mid-2000s.
That's the way to go. It's very beneficial for the franchise in general, and healthy. There will be a lot of bad stuff. See, it happened. It's like it was the French New Wave. It was like in the early 20th century when the movie started. So the government started funding every single director. Like someone wrote some crap. There you go, money, go do it. They funded everyone, so everyone could try and fail. And so basically there were some that were crap that realized like, okay, this is like not my thing, but I tried. So they kind of stopped. And so that was a natural selection type of thing going on. People kind of filtered themselves out because they didn't like what they created, and the good ones remained. But that's how they kind of the government promoted the filmmakers and good art that was hiding. So same thing here. Like I want the same thing for Wizarding World like it's for DC or Marvel, right? It's this huge universe of everything, and it's possible because literally it's the Wizarding world, entire world. Like that's what I'm like, every time I'm thinking about it, it makes me so like go like we have been focused for 7 books on one real estate that is Hogwarts, on one tiny storyline that lasted just a few years. But there was there was history of the Wizarding World in England and other worlds, other countries, other continents that we don't even know about. We just dipped into it, and I feel like it's time to let go the past of the Fantastic Beasts, like that stuff, and go in the future, explore different storylines completely.
But there's a lot there. There's a lot of wiggle room, especially once you leave Hogwarts and once you leave certain timelines. I mean, like, it's pretty open. You just have to get JK's, you know, approval on some stuff, and you can really say whatever. I want to acknowledge 2 different things. Number one, it seems like a lot of people's birthdays are on December 6th because, you know, that kind of prediction going around. I've seen a lot of people that their birthdays are on that day. Number 2, a lot of people are saying hello to you. A lot of people love you in the chat. And then we did get a question in a super chat. Thanks, Nerdy Giant. I have a question for both of you. Since Sony is now putting their focus on live service titles, do you think they could implement a live service aspect for Hogwarts if it does well? I don't think they have any. No. I don't think they have any say in Hogwarts. But I could imagine, especially because of whatever this partnership Sony wants, I could imagine them pitching, hey, give one of our studios the IP, and we'll make not a Hogwarts, we'll make a Wizarding World game. You know what I mean? You do that, you could have EA jump in, you could have Embracer Group. I mean, you can. It's gonna happen because Warner Bros. Doesn't have, and this is the thing they're finding out with DC. They don't have enough studios. You can't make a DC universe with just Warner Bros. Studios. They have like 2. They make those games. You need to give them out. Ubisoft needs to try. You just need to give them. And again, you're gonna get some bad ones, but you'll get some really great ones.
Yeah. I think also taking into consideration that rumor that Quidditch is not in Hogwarts Legacy.
Quidditch is a prime one, yeah.
So I feel like it was both decision to, add other features in the game while not working on Quidditch. But at the same time, why not tease a little bit here and then make a standalone game, free to play, for example, even. Yep. And I feel like I would be totally fine with that. So yeah, I think not with Hogwarts. Yeah. I think they stated, they said it's on their website. There's no microtransactions or anything like that in the game. So I think we're safe here. It's going to remain single player. But then spin-offs or there will be other stuff.
Well, and you could say sadly or not, depending on how you view the world and the industry. But I mean, the Wizarding World is a prime thing for like an MMO, like a live service-y kind. It really is. You could do a DC Universe Online kind of thing, or Knights or the Old Republic. I mean, you can have an open world MMO that maybe you buy the base game, or maybe it's just free to play, and there's always things adding. You can have a Gwent-style game, which is Wizard's Chess. I've always said that. Just do a Wizard's Chess game. Because it's small. I mean, charge $10, $15 for it. Quidditch, like you said, Quidditch, whoever gets their hands on that, whoever pitches it to Warner Bros. Discover, whoever does that is going to just be very happy with themselves,
Yeah.
Because that game is going to do – it's a sporting – I mean, that's literally a sports game. That all you have to do –
And I'm not into sports, and I was playing that Quidditch World Cup like crazy.
But I mean, and then you could do, more open world stuff. You could do a linear thing. I mean, like a Telltale could get a stab at a episodic, kind of like a more condensed story thing. There's so much you can do.
What if, do you remember there was actually an Harry Potter MMORPG in the works, but they canceled it.
Yeah, back in like 2002 or something from EA. Yeah.
So I guess at that time, maybe they didn't see the future in that. Yeah. Now
they were trying to go for kids.
Maybe
I think
they were ahead of that time. And right now, I feel like the technology, it will make those MMOs look and play better. Yeah. And today, it's the day for that to happen.
Yeah, an MMO back in 2002, I don't even know what I would have expected from something like that. But I mean, now you have World of Warcraft, you have Final Fantasy. I mean, Final Fantasy is taking the world by storm. I mean, if you had one of those where you could go to different, you go to Hogwarts, you go to wherever you want, you just accept quests. It lives on for 5, 6, 7 years. They constantly add stuff. I mean, it would be
Lord of the
nuts.
Rings Online.
Lord of the Rings, yes.
I never tried it, but I see I'm like, I don't play too much of online games. I only now started to tip into that. So I'm having fun. But they're huge. The people are going nuts about MMOs.
Yeah. What do you think about the different editions? So the whole data mining thing of the different editions.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, the 72-hour thing is, caught people.
Well, okay. So 72 hours, I said it. I think I mentioned once that it was kind of expected. And people were like, huh? Well, I feel like it's a tradition now. With every release, there is an early access, always. So that's why, okay, no, it's great. I love that, but it was expected. But if I don't know, with those Kelpie robe, the dark, what is it, mound, or what was it?
Yeah, that was was it a Thestral mound or something?
Thestral mound, yeah.
Well, a lot of it's in-game stuff.
Should you put spoiler alert on it already?
Well, yeah. People are asking, what would you actually get physically from, because you see the editions, and the collector's edition is the one with the 72 hours. It's the one, does it say wand and book? I can probably pull it up, but it's got a lot of stuff, but a lot of it seems like it's going to be in-game stuff, which also, that actually keeps with the times. Most collector's edition nowadays are more about inside the game than in the past, giving you helmets and all this kind of awesome stuff. Those are going away, sadly.
I know, like I was trying to get the God of War, the
Yes, yeah.
What's it, Jotnar
Yeah.
edition. It's
Yeah.
gone in minutes. I woke up. I was literally like 10 minutes late. It was gone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but the thing, at the same time, I'm glad I didn't get it because the most thing I cared about was that 7-inch vinyl that they were sending with it because I'm a record collector. So it's gone. I don't care about the other ones. But so I hope that doesn't happen with I don't know. I think it's gonna happen. Maybe we just didn't see the what Hogwarts edition yet.
Yeah,
you know?
There could be a fourth one. What I guess I don't like is like, there's ways around it, right? Because when you attach 72 hours to the highest edition, you run into an issue. Because I feel like most games don't do that. They don't put it on the highest edition. The early access is normally like the middle edition, because the middle edition doesn't give you physical items most of the time, right? It's all in-game. Because if you attach 72 hours to the collector's edition that gives you physical, then you can sell out. And then people can't get the 72. A lot of people, and I've said this, I'm sure a lot of people probably agree, people will probably buy that collector's edition simply to play the game 3 days early. Like, I think that it's an easy, it's all, I don't know if it's like predatory in a way, but I mean, they're going to make a lot of money simply just because they're saying 3 days early, you guys get it. But if you attach that to, so I mean, that helps.
Yeah. I feel like the ideal option here would be, because here they're still like testing things or try things out, seeing how things will look. Maybe that's not final. Maybe I feel like the ideal thing would be like they did with Back 4 Blood, that if you pre-order, you get the early access. That's it. If you just pre-order, whoever, because that's why I like crap. I have Game Pass. And I would get the game first day, but I wouldn't get the early access. I had to buy it in order to play it early.
Yeah, that's how that stuff sucked. I hate it when but I mean it's the way it is, and I mean you do get it free, so there's like the trade-off. But yeah, I mean that's I really wish the 72 was the middle tier, but we'll see how it goes. We also don't know like the highest tier doesn't scream $300 to me. Like God of War is $300. Then Gotham Knights, the one with the statues of them, which does look really awesome, that's $300. I don't think the highest tier of Hogwarts is necessarily. It should be like 150, maybe 2 at most. But
they don't really have to. They don't really have to. Like honestly, I prefer. It's cool to have collector's editions, but at the same time, because you get so much hype, there's so many people who just don't get it because they're limited. So it would be cool to have these, like how we have, right? It's more in-game and 72-hour thing. A steel bookcase is cool, but then you create the merch, all the statues you can have available on your as merch on your website, and people can go and get it if they want to support more the developer.
I think BioWare does it better than probably anybody. BioWare's got their I think it's called just BioWare Shop, where they'll have like the pillows and stuff. Like they do an incredible job of and Mass Effect is a big IP.
They have that for Doom. I played it. Doom. Yeah, they have records, they have pillows, they have little little toys in the shape of those demons. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and I think the Wizarding World is definitely big enough where, and maybe that's what they're doing. I mean, honestly, that could be why there's not as many.
I see. Like Wizarding World, it's all merchandise. Like you go to Universal Studios, it's like there's everything there. So. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of Hogwarts Legacy stuff probably in those stores as well.
Yeah, I could just see, because you don't have to give too many physical things with the collectors. You can have your own shop online where there could
sell more.
Yeah, you would sell way more. Yeah, and you could have 10, 15 physical items that connect something to the game. We're getting a bunch of just random good questions, so I just want to try to nail a couple of them. When was Wizard Chess created? Was it after or before 1800? I feel like Wizard's Chess was around for Hogwarts Legacy. That's why I've always been a supporter of having it in the game.
Chess is like an ancient game in general. So it was around for a while.
Yeah. I'm terrified that a Quidditch standalone game will have too many microtransactions and a whole meta community. I'd be fine just playing against bots. Yeah.
I agree, but see, when the game is free, I'm okay with microtransactions because the game is free. Yeah. That's what you get. So, and in so many situations, those games are really fun without buying anything.
Right.
Fortnite is freaking free. Rocket League
Oh, I'm a Rocket Leaguer for life, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, they can also make, but I don't see it happening. I feel like if they're going to be making that online one, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, a Quidditch one, man. I'd be very interested. Do you do
dueling?
Do you do a free to play? Because but then you also look within, and like Multiverses from Warner is doing phenomenal, and that's free to fully. So
I was just literally watching before you buy by game ranks of that. Multiverses, and
that's a great game.
I'm thinking when I'm seeing it, Hogwarts Legacy comes out, there's gonna be the character from, or they just put Harry Potter or Dumbledore or Hagrid. Oh my God, Hagrid. Multiverses. That would be sick.
Well, the rumor with and I think video. I talked about it before, but a video is gonna go up where I talk about it again. The rumor with Multiverses is they tried to get Harry and Ron. We're gonna be 2 playable characters, and whatever's going on with the licensing behind the scenes because of that merger stopped them. And the rumor is they canceled it. And it is all rumor, but the rumors of Multiverses are like all true. Like LeBron was leaked in the same thing. Maps have been leaked. So like the rumor mill of that game is very accurate. And that sucks. I mean, so I hope whatever's going on is I guess they were this close for Ron and Harry to be in the game. That'd be freaking awesome. Go ahead.
I guess it's just give it time. Let Hogwarts Legacy release, and they're like, we gotta get it on.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do.
That will be the only reason why I play this game.
Yeah.
I'm not really into fighter games, but if they add anything Harry Potter related, I will play it.
I've seen that in my own comments. People saying all they need to do is add one, Wizarding World fighter, and they'll be in. Another super chat. Thank you so much, good sir. Hi, guys. Love both of your work. Over or under 25%, are we getting an announcement of a multiplayer Quidditch World Cup game for a release of fall 2023? Under or over 25%? I feel like we will get a game so like 1 year away. I don't think so. I'll say no. I just feel like that's kind of soon.
Unless there was some other company working all this time on something like that without anyone noticing.
The thing that I'm worried about, and I guess there's the stupid bot things always pop up. The thing I'm worried about with this is simply are they like waiting, because like sometimes companies will do those just brain dead decisions where it's like when you have something special, and you should easily know when you have something special in the wizarding world, but for some reason some companies literally won't move on, like won't have like a plan going on until the first thing is out. So what I mean is, like the executives, they're like, we know it's special, but you know what, we have to wait literally till December, the game sells, and then we'll start accepting pitches for other Wizarding World games, and we'll start handing. I have a sneaky feeling that's the way it is, that they want to do it, but they're literally sitting there saying we're waiting till the game comes out, then we'll accept Sony's come to us, but we said not yet. I feel like that's what's happened, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I can totally see it, because
I feel like they're afraid of J.K. Rowling and all that controversy. That's why I think they're doing it.
Those executives, those people who just greenlight things, they don't really care about the game itself or the IP. It's just business. Literally, they're being safe. Okay, I love you. Like, probably the developer, they're like, okay, we can do this, and this, and that.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, great. Hold your horses. Release the game. We'll talk then. Yeah. Yep. I feel like that's just as easy as that. They're like, we're not gonna do that until this happens. Yeah, they're worried, but they're not worried. I mean,
that's the thing.
Those guys, they're just okay. There's that shit that hit the fan.
Yeah.
And all right, let's see how this boils down. What's gonna happen here?
Yeah.
And that's it. But it's not even more related to that, but it's just that business part.
Yeah.
That just don't assume, because regardless of J.K. Rowling stuff, the game can fail too. At the same time, like any game, there were so many other games without any controversy. Yeah. Controversy that failed.
Yeah.
And
it's not a guarantee. I mean, I think this game is going to sell very well out of the gate, But if if it's
sure.
bad, because you can sell really well the first month, and then the game can kind of trickle. There's the debate of did The Last of Us 2 really sell all? Now it sold 10 million. It's up for you to debate whether that's good or not for Naughty Dog. But like that game broke records the first week, first couple days, and then factually, again, whether you think 10 million is a lot or not, it fell off. It just did. You know what I mean? So it's not a guarantee. Like I have said, it's going to sell really. I think it's going to sell well. Period. But I think it's going to sell really well at launch. And then if the game does suck, word of mouth will hurt it. It absolutely will.
And that's what they are. That's what's like most important here. And I just want to touch that part of that. There's so many haters of not so many. There's some.
The journalists.
Yeah.
I have no problem saying I hate them.
Yeah. No, it's like you can say whatever you want. You're free to say whatever you want. But like the word of mouth is, I feel like, the strongest here.
Yeah.
Because nowadays when the game comes out, what do? Do we go read an article or do we go watch a gameplay?
Yeah.
And see how the gamers react.
You just made 10 journalists cry with that statement. They said, "Why aren't you coming to us?" No, you're right. They are.
Read the article. And we still read the article and stuff. It's like, okay, great, but at the end of the day, you yourself make your own final decision on whether you like the game or not. I get your opinion. I get that whatever you're decided that you don't want to play the game. Yeah. That's fine. That's your opinion. You voice yourself out. Yeah. I will go and find and decide for myself.
Yep.
So that's where we come in. It's up to us literally to, if we like the game, share that we do like it, play it. If we don't, be truthful.
Yep.
And then people will hear it and they will decide in their own way, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm
so that's like I'm getting to the place that we shouldn't be too scared of those journalists who will be writing this stuff, because when you see just like someone decided to just be on the negative side, you see it. You see it.
And once you see it, you will never be able to unsee it. It really is the whole the curtain opening thing. Yeah, I mean, I've talked we won't talk too much about it, but I've talked at length about the gaming journalists. I've gone to bat for the Hogwarts Legacy group, and no, you're right. I mean, it's the thing with this game that I keep saying is and they don't understand it. Well, a couple things. Number one, the game is going to sell well regardless of them being anti it just to do it. Number two, this is really a bad game for them to pull this act with, because there is an incredible, you look at you're very popular. Me, I get views. Retro is, he's blown. YouTube really likes his channel with the Hogwarts stuff, right? There are some incredible Hogwarts Legacy creators. They get a lot of views and a lot of people paying attention. This is the wrong game for gaming journalists to say, yeah, we kind of refuse to cover it, because there are people, waiting on YouTube that have always been there that are slowly, chipping away at the viewership of IGN and Kotaku. And if you literally take yourself out of the fight and Kotaku says, we're not reviewing this game, it's bigoted, we're not going to do it. Okay, fine. You just open the door for us to come in and kick you down a flight of stairs. I mean, that's, truly, it's the wrong game for these morons to choose this. And I'm not talking about people that maybe have valid reasons or valid concerns. I'm talking about the people that have already insulted you and me, that we're evil people. I don't know if you know this. We're 2 of the 10 worst people on YouTube because we cover the game. So they started the war. I'm just going to, finish it for them.
Right. Yeah. About IGN in general, I don't know. At least recently, I don't know. I used to watch it a lot, but now I fell off. They feel too corporate. I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I like game ranks now. They're just, I don't know. They're chill. They're nice. They still cover the game in very similar way, but in their own way. And it's they feel more truthful and honest. They're kind of we don't care about what do you think. This is what we think. That's it. And IGN feels a bit more.
Well, they're not worried. Gamer ranks and all they're not worried about being invited to, the E3 to have an exclusive preview event with Sony. Right. IGN and Kotaku and Game Informer, and some of them are good. IGN is not the war, Kotaku and stuff. They've fallen, but like IGN's still okay generally. Game Informer, and there's some good ones. Video Game Chronicles is a really good one, but they still all have to. And I guess we do in a sense. Like we can't. We have to be truthful, and but we don't do stupid stuff like just insult to insult. I'm sure there's like troll.
Right.
You know what I mean? But these companies, they have to play it very safe with reviews, and they have to play it very safe with what they're allowed to say and not allowed to say in coverage. Because, I mean, they have deals with these companies daily, and you can lose those deals rather quick. Companies don't even like Kotaku for, like, other reasons than we don't like them. Companies don't really like Kotaku, and you can tell Kotaku is, like, bitter, where it's like, we don't get invited to preview events anymore. Well, it's because you suck. And you don't just suck to us, you suck to, like, game companies don't like you either. So it's the wrong game. Like, if you did this for The Last of Us Part 1, like, that's different. That's a Sony thing. It just is different. Wizarding World, there is I've never seen, I think you probably would, there's a community on YouTube unlike any other for this series. You know what I mean? For this franchise. So this is the wrong game for but it's the wrong game, but it's the right game. I want this to happen. I want companies to refuse to cover this game because I want them all gone. But that's my controversial thoughts.
See, the thing is, they will cover it. Why? Because it's popular.
Yeah.
And also, regardless of like the negative, the more outrageous the topic they write.
Yeah.
More people will actually read it. It will catch their eye.
Clickbait.
Even for a second, it is clickbait.
Yeah.
It's like literally bad fame sells. It's like it works.
Yep.
It works everywhere in every aspect, and they know it. And so instead of just not covering it, they cover it, but in a negative way, but they still cover it.
Yeah.
So them saying willing to cancel it or whatnot. And the thing is, like, if you don't want to play the game, I totally get it.
Yeah.
If you feel offended,
it's your money. Like, if you don't want to spend the money buying, like,
absolutely. There's no shame in that. Do that. Like, it's fine. Like, we all make our own decisions. And so no one should be pressured for playing the game, or no one should be pressured because they're not playing the game or they feel offended. I totally get that. I see why you wouldn't want to play this game if you feel, hurt or anything like that. I understand it.
Yep. And we have a super chat from one of our fellow creators. Expecto Go is here. Everybody's already saying hi. Thank you, man. I really appreciating it. Spreading Lumos to some of my favorite Hogwarts Legacy YouTubes. Over under 50% were a descendant of Merlin. Now, you guys are very into, and I mean, I am to an extent. I just can't keep up with really you three, Ben, Expecto Go, and Retro Raconteur. I mean, you guys know the world like very few others. But I have seen your coverages on Merlin. I'm going to say over. I'm going to say that is what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. What do you think? Do you think do you think we're a descendant, or I mean, you can cop out and say like,
I can see it.
Yeah.
Because it's always fun, and like I'm always thinking story wise, not only like lore wise, but how you write and structure the story of a hero, right? I don't think our character has parents, just like Harry doesn't. I think he's an orphan. He lives in an orphanage. Every hero.
You can't really have solid
Spider-Man,
parents.
Batman, everybody.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker, everybody loses their parents at some point in the storyline. And then there is some connection to like, oh, there's your father actually. He's Voldemort, Darth Vader.
Yeah.
There's the father in the past who is the maybe Merlin's gonna be the evil guy after all.
Yeah.
Somehow. So, but yeah, I think yes, we're onto something here. I think there's connection to Merlin there, and there's ancient magic hidden there.
Yeah. It's
fun to speculate though about this stuff. Like when you sit around, it's like, oh, what if?
Yep. Yeah. There's a lot. I feel like they could. I feel like Merlin. There's been enough hints. I've seen like the theory videos and stuff. I mean. There's
the M in many different places. There's one. So this dungeon that's like with this statue, big giant statue. It's like bluish dungeon.
Yes.
Right. It feels like I feel like that's underwater.
Oh man.
But then remember that shot from the gameplay trailer where we literally walk and there's this water coming up like this. I'm like, first I thought that was a spell, but then I'm like, wait. That's what it like. That's literally water. We walk and it fills up with water, the whole thing. And then at the end of that, there's like a door and it has an M.
Do you think we'll be able to swim in this game?
I don't know. See,
I had to make an entire video because I love the concept of water. I said no. My answer is no.
No. So I did the like FAQ Q&A video.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
almost done with it right now. It
Yeah.
took forever to edit it, but yeah, someone asked that question with me, and I'm saying it is possible because water mechanics are kind of common,
Yeah.
but
I think
it might be kind of like in Spider-Man, like that you can't swim a lot. If you get in the water, you won't die like in Vice City.
Yeah.
But you will still be able to get on the.
Well, then there's also the difference of swimming versus like plunging yourself underwater, because you can be on the on the top of the water, and games have done that, but you're not allowed. You can't go under. There's a whole different. You'll die, or the game literally there's no button to do it. That I would say swimming, literally where you're halfway in, halfway out, probably 50-50. Going under, I think 0. I would go so far to just say literally 0. But I want it, like, because I like the idea of like layers and underground caves and all that stuff that you have to really like Horizon. I don't know if anybody's played Forbidden West, but that was a focal point. If you remember the state of play, the big 15-minute state of play for Horizon, the water thing was like the biggest thing they wanted to emphasize, that was a new mechanic. Hogwarts hasn't done that because it's not a big mechanic. You know what I mean? That's not what they built the game around, where it is a big point of Horizon. That I just don't think you'll be able to do it. Plus,
but at the same time, for example, like in Tomb Raider, they had a lot. Like it's not really in the water, but sometimes you have to you go in the cave. And those parts usually are the load screens.
Yes.
Like the hidden load screen when you squeeze between the and or swim.
Yep.
Yeah, but so like it's I'm like puzzled. I'm confused and puzzled at the same time, because I get that it could be too much of a mechanic to work on if they have all the thing, but at the same time, that dungeon could be underwater. We probably could be accessing it through like by going underwater. So maybe I'm in a maybe.
Yeah, I think it speaks to something about this game that you can literally have as many long-minute conversation on water. You know what I mean? That's kind of special.
or seasons. Like I'm so nuts. I'm so happy. There's seasons and weather in it.
Same.
Snowy Hogwarts, seeing snow. Oh my God! And there was just the battles are going on, and we're fighting. Yeah. There's snowflakes floating around. Oh my God!
It was one of the first. It was one of the first things when the state of play, or not the trailer, when the trailer came out in that September 2020, and then I did like just maybe like 12, 15 videos on just different theories. Seasons was one of the first things I remember talking about, and it's like, I was so thrilled because I think it's just it makes so much sense considering you're literally living a school year, so you're going through the months. You know what I mean? It would kind of be weird not to have seasons.
Right. Yeah. That's actually around that time when I started making the video, because you were like the first one.
Well, thank you.
I was watching like literally like it was 2020. I think that was the first time I saw a video about the leaked gameplay. I never saw it when it happened. I only saw like what people talked about. Yeah. And then I kept watching, and I didn't record my reaction for the reveal, because I was watching the videos and I was like, we were in the dream world. Like we're just the guys who like Harry Potter, and we're just wishing for this game, and it's not gonna happen. It's like literally, the chances of this game to happen were so low. Yeah. And when it was announced, I'm like, what? Like I lost it. And then I almost passed out, because that was Hogwarts Legacy, and then they announced the new God of War. That was a crazy event.
I know. Man, it's so special because like you had the wave when the leaks first came out. Mm-hmm. And then you had really 2 years after, and so many people just lost hope, because it was like, well, because those things can leak out and the game can be canceled and all that stuff. And it turned out to be, but you had negativity. I mean, for every video I would make talking about the leaked Harry Potter RPG, you'd have some people saying there is no, like, that's not happening. You know what I mean? So, and then when you got the trailer, I remember people coming and being like, this is like, you were right, and we finally get it all together. It's very special. Nerdy Giant sent another super chat. Thank you, buddy. Side activities you think we will get. Do you want to take this first? So we're in the world. we're doing the normal quest, but what do you think we can do on the side? I pray for Wizard's Chess. I pray.
Yes, Wizard Chess. They showed at least 1 or 2 mini games, right?
Yes.
We saw doing something with balls.
Yeah.
and then some stage comes out and we see a performance. We probably I don't know what's that. But usually it's very common when some NPC is troubled and we need to help him. Like, oh, I can't walk there. Can you? I don't know. Something even simple like that.
Do you think there'll be? Obviously, it's very common, and I would again be shocked if they didn't have it. So they have to in some way. The random. So like when you're on the map, right, and you see it, there's the main missions, the side missions, and maybe the side missions is a collection of 4 to 6 things, but there'll always be the random encounters. So like something random happens in the world. Now, like you said, maybe that's one of it where somebody's wand breaks and they need you to, Wingardium Leviosa them up a couple floors. I mean, what do you think? Random events that could happen in the world spontaneously, because you can't. The thing that's tough is when you're in Hogwarts, you can never have like a random battle breaking out. Like when you're away, you have those, the villains of this game. You could ideally have a random battle that's not a mission. It's just something that happens in the world, and you can stop it and beat them, or you can ignore it. You can do that out there because people can be fighting, but you can't fight. Inside Hogwarts. So I do wonder what random things students could have trouble with, or does something break, or maybe a door won't open, stuff like that.
I mean, at least there's Peeves.
Yeah.
Well, that's only one character. Maybe they will bring back some of those, Fantastic Beast creatures that can be lurking around at night, at least.
Yeah.
Like in the first Harry Potter game. So maybe we will be having troubles with that, or maybe even at night the whole difficulty will be to get around Hogwarts. You're supposed to be in dormitory sleeping.
Do you think? Well, let me get the super chat and we'll talk. I mean, that's a good conversation. So let's try to remember that. Nightly Nerd, great conversation so far, and thank you, buddy. Great conversation so far. Do you guys think there will be any benefits for playing as each house? Oh, again, this is a good one. I made a video way back in the day where, I'd like to see some sort of buff on your character, and I think that's the easiest way to do it for any game, right? Gryffindor. Gryffindor is kind of like more for strength, right? So maybe but maybe that's Slytherin.
It would be standard.
What is it?
It would be standard. Like Gryffindor probably. Well, not standard, but they all will be different on their own. But Gryffindor.
Because I could see one like you literally get 5% more health. One you get 5% more, or your spells will regen maybe 5%.
That's Ravenclaw. Yeah, that's Ravenclaw. They're smart.
Okay, all right, there you go.
They're smart.
Yeah. Or maybe you get an extra. Maybe you get a little bit. It can't be much. The thing with buffs is you can't give too much, right?
Yeah.
So maybe Ravenclaw, they're very smart, so you get more XP. If you read, if you go to library, maybe you get more XP if you're Ravenclaw. It should be fun because you should get. And honestly, I would prefer you get more than one thing. Like I'm kind of defaulting. Maybe each house gets literally one benefit for each. I'd like to see maybe you get one benefit. Maybe you get a weakness. But again, you can't go overboard. You can't say minus 30% health, if you're Slytherin because you're a bad person. You can't, you can't go that far.
Yeah. I feel like they might give different, stats to go with in the beginning, but then at the same, you can even them out in your own way. That's what you start with. Yeah. I don't see them making too drastic changes between the houses. I feel like they will have slight differences, but in the long run, it may not be. But the only big difference is going to be that it's different common room. Different.
Yeah. I want to get to the night thing, but Janessa says, "Wait, I've seen a chessboard somewhere. I think in the Ravenclaw common room. That would be freaking sweet if somebody spotted that."
I think I might have seen that too, but it was like just a small. They're not giant.
Because you could do a small one, just a normal set thing, and then the camera would then go top down, and you would have
like in Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, and you'd have different animations. Wizard's Chess makes sense. All right, let's talk about, and I don't want to just talk about night. I want to slam you with a couple. All right, so. When we talk about night and sneaking around the castle, that asks a bigger question, in my opinion. How much leniency is there to your schedule? Do you have to go to classes? Can you skip them? Are you free to free roam Hogwarts at your leisure? Or is the game very linear in the sense that even when you're exploring Hogwarts, there's no internal time. You're not skipping something, you're not missing out on something. It's just the game. It's like a Days Gone. I'm playing Days Gone right now. You can just do whatever. You're not losing time. You're not losing a mission. You know what I mean? So how lenient do you think they'll be where you can sneak out of bed at night? But see, if they don't let you do that, if you go to bed and you wake up the next day, that's a game mechanic. You can never sneak through at night. You know what I mean? How do you think all that's going to work?
Well, okay. How? Let's
do
go
you think you can skip
parts.
classes or not?
Okay, so there is definitely day and night. Well, of course, there is the clock in the game because it goes. I think we can only access classes during the time when classes can happen, during like the first half. I think at the same time, if we don't go to the class, nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But still at night we'll have to be indoors, so we'll have to be sneaky, kind of like in Zelda. So there are characters who are available during the day but not at night, and vice versa. So I think because making too strict of a schedule or make it too linear that it kind of teleports you to the class as part of the mission, that would be too limiting. So I think that's a safe place to be. Okay, you have to take the class in order to see though, but
do you get perks for, like, if you go to potions, do you unlock something, or do you get XP? And if you don't go to the class, you're not getting that. It's not really a weakness, it's not really a debuff, but you're not getting it as much as somebody who went. But maybe you could go to the library and you could do an animation. You hold square, you read a book, and you get but you can only do it for so long. Like there are, but I do agree with you where you can't make it too linear, because a thing with also, like, it's the wizarding world, but let's not kid like Harry Potter. Everybody knows, Harry Potter, the movies, the books. Like they go to classes like 10 times throughout the entire year. You know what I mean? Whether they're skipping, obviously they're skipping time, but they're also skipping classes sometimes, like all this stuff. You have to let, you have to let people try to sneak out, like leave Hogwarts Castle at night, because I'm sure there'll be stuff to do, you know what I mean? But you're not going to be able to do it easily.
Yeah. And like even in like in Skyrim, like there are classes happening like in that school, but you can just ignore them and do the missions. So I think in first couple of times it will be sort of, we have to go as part of the mission, but then it sort of steers away from it, but they will remain as classes. So they will be non-mandatory, but you can still come back. You will get benefits from it. Maybe you'll learn a couple of more extra spells or extra potions. You can continue the courses, keep attending classes at a time that they are available. But you don't have to.
Yeah, no, I like that.
But maybe, maybe the story, how, like, the benefits that those classes might have. Maybe you're going to have a book and you'll see, if you go through 15 classes, you're going to get this. You're like, you'll be interested in actually learning that. Or maybe there will be, but if I, instead of going to potions, I can go to divination and learn other cool ass shit that will be more better than those potions. And I'm like, and you're like, Hermione, maybe you need time.
You could do both. No, I agree with that. I think, and the thing with this game that is a little different than others too is the focus is on the classes. Unlike so that's the thing where I think they are going to force you at the start. You're going to probably attend each class maybe 1 to 2 times, and then like you said, I like that idea too. Like, let us pick. Like from a lore perspective, it's like, well, obviously you're going to all the classes, but from a game perspective, it's like, well, you're really having a choice. You have 5, 6 classes. You can only go to 1 today. You're going to get a buff from that, but you don't get the buffs from the other 4. Which do you choose?
Yeah, because choices build your legacy. Choices are important in this game, so it's like it's taking that in consideration when thinking about just things like. They want to be making choices all the time. That means replayability. So if you chose that, that's it. That's what you get.
I think so. We'll try to do some, because a lot of people are asking good questions just like normally. Do you think there'll be broomstick racing?
Oh yeah, they said it.
I think yes.
And by the way, talking about this a little bit, Quidditch not being Quidditch. So I feel like, have you played Half-Blood Prince?
I've played games here and there. I feel like I've watched Half-Blood Prince, but I don't think I've played it.
So the Quidditch there was painful as hell. I will be playing it actually the next on my channel soon.
Nice. I'll watch.
So it's painful. You just fly through stars.
Yeah.
You do a practice round, and then you do the same thing all over again as if you're playing in it. It's painful. You can never skip that. And I was like saying like, please don't make Quidditch. Don't make us fly through stars in Hogwarts Legacy. And the thing is, I feel like the broom racing is flying through stars, kinda. Yeah. But it will be non-mandatory. So you will try it once. You can do races. You can learn how to fly a broom, and you can do races. But that's it. You don't have to come back to it. You don't have to race with anyone. You don't have to do it. So I prefer to have that than having a mandatory Quidditch. So like with Quidditch not being there, I feel like it's still in the game, but we're not the ones who play. Maybe there's going to be some mission during the match. We'll watch from a side. We'll cheer. But then we'll have to send.
I think a good way to appeal to people would be because I think they'll know that not having Quidditch is going to upset people, but I feel like they will supplement that by there'll be a mission where you watch, and it's a cutscene. You'll watch part of a Quidditch. I fully believe that.
Mm-hmm. That's what they said. That's what they said. Like Quidditch is part of the world. Yeah. Right. Like
I think that was a hint when you hear that, when it's like, well, maybe you can, maybe you can't, but Quidditch is definitely going on and everybody knows about it. It's like, all right, you're not going to let us play, but you will let us in a cutscene. You'll let us watch. Yeah. This is a good question. Do you think wands will affect gameplay based on wood, length, and core? Wands are tough because I've always talked about customizing. Like sometimes you'll get oh man, well I guess in this case it would probably be like the core. Like you'd almost like swap out the core with a different core that would give buffs. But the issue is you can't really do that with a wand, right? Because lore breaking.
The one maker.
And it's one wand, and like you're not supposed to really lose it or break it. So the wand you get at the beginning, you're not really supposed to take out the middle part and like put a new middle part in. What I mean? So I feel like that part's gonna be limited. But what do you think? Do you think there'll be like 5-6 different kind of wand types, and those will give you? I mean, those could give you buffs. They could give different, like wood, different materials.
From overall wand customization and buffs. So first, people ask that for my video too. I answered that. The wand chooses a wizard. Yeah. Not the other way around.
But that's not the thing, man. I don't know.
But at the same time, in this experience, I feel like people would like to have some choice of wood and core. They do that in Pottermore. They do it in Hogwarts Mystery. Yeah. I don't know if they do it in Magic Awaken. I haven't seen. But you have that choice. So I feel like they might let us choose that at the beginning, but you will not going to be able to customize your wand ever. That's it. You choose your wand in the beginning. That's it. Just like the house. Yeah. Whether or not we're going to have buffs, they do have different characteristics, right? They're different, like the heartstring of a dragon or the unicorn hair.
I could see it as simple as one wand would give defensive spells a buff. One wand would give offense, like simple as that. And there's, I'm sure, more than defensive and offensive attacks. But that is fully what I think. I don't think you're gonna unlock like an exclusive spell for a wand. I think maybe that's where they do the regen of attack spells is faster if you choose this core of a wand. That's what. But I agree with you. I think they're going to break the rule in that case. I think we're going to pick the wand, but you're right. I mean, once you pick it, there is no... And I don't know, because people always ask, like, what about customization? Honestly, there shouldn't be anything to customize when it comes to the wand. Like, after you get
the only situation we had in the movies was, like, when Lucius put that snake thing handle on it. That's it.
You could have that.
So, like, it's like, but... so, like, I think where people are coming from is that there's so many designs of the wand in general, and you can choose. Everyone has their unique, so they think it maybe would recustomize. No, it's more about it's made like this and it's unique, and then the other one is different. Right. So, maybe. Yeah.
No, I agree. It's gonna be fun. I mean, again, like there's so many things like this where, and again, I think that's a testament to the community because these are not. And let me be clear, these are not that big of things to like outsiders or for another game. For like other, you know what I mean?
Care.
Yeah, who cares what the wand? You know what I mean? And I say that in I don't know, the most like heartfelt way. Like it's awesome that, I mean, I'm not kidding when I say like we can have a 10-minute conversation about water in Hogwarts Legacy. It's a special game. Not everybody. These are small things that just like games have or they don't have or they just work the way they were, and that's it. Nobody debates.
This is for the nerds.
Yeah, nobody talks about
like
them.
us.
Nobody. Yeah. And it feels like everything in this game is for nerds. That's the cool, you know.
And I knew that's what I love about. It's like, I'm dorking out about any aspect about this game, about this, and I feel fine, like because like we connect with people who feel in the same way, who want to be talking about this stuff.
Oh yeah.
And like Reddit goes even further than that. Oh my God, it's like I love it. It just, everyone just has a small thought and elaborates on it just about tiniest aspect of the game that could possibly have. It's not confirmed, but people go on talking about for hours about it.
Yeah.
I love it.
One question is, how do you think classes will work? And school classes, cutscenes, mini games like Bully, or sticking to original game where you have to complete trials and whatnot? I think mini games.
Yeah.
I think cutscenes the first time of each class will be a cutscene. And and maybe an introduction to a mini game, and then after that it would be probably the same. The thing again, like they're focusing so much on the school classes. I can imagine them having quite a few cutscenes prepared, where you could go to a class 10 times and watch 10 unique throughout the school year, 10 unique cut. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a big. I feel like they're kind of proud of that almost, and so. Cutscenes, I think, will be a part of it. But if you go to a class, if you can go to a class like 100 times, there will not be a cutscene all 100, or there would have to be a repeat. You know what I mean? Like there'd have to be ways around it. It'd be more like Persona. So, but I think the first time for sure, like a long cutscene, and I think mini game.
Yeah, I think mini game is a safe route. The trials, like in the first games, were special. Like it's just a class, but you almost die in it.
Yeah.
They were fun. They were so much fun. I feel like it's gonna be limited. Yeah, just mini games. Or what if you literally have to open a book and read?
Yeah.
Just like in Skyrim, you sit, you read a part, and then there is an answer, a task that you have to answer.
Yeah.
I don't think they would go to that because so many people would just be thrown. Like, I don't want to read. Like, what?
Yeah. You can't underestimate the attention span of your players, and you know, we're all into it, but the attention span average is so low. I don't think you could pull that off, to be honest.
Even myself, like I'm nerdy, but like in Skyrim,
I wouldn't want to do it like 100 times, and that hurts replayability because it's like, are you stuck reading it for a certain amount of time? You know that.
Unless you have books that you can actually pick up in the library and read. That someone asked, like that would be sick if we can have lore books, the Beetle the Bard, or whatever like all the different types of books and stories that would be written, we could read. That's cool, but they're not manual. You just found a book. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and that's where collectibles, like you find like a parchment or whatever, and you can you read it out. Books would be I mean, books is like that on steroids. Like it would be a lot of reading. Another super chat. Oh, go ahead.
No, yeah.
Well, we'll get the super chat. Will we be able to choose our country of origin in the character creation to increase the feeling of this is your story, etc. as yourself? Oh man,
that's interesting.
I don't think they would go so far to do that, but I really don't think that would hurt a lore
or change anything.
It wouldn't change anything, but I honestly feel like they wouldn't have thought. I almost think they wouldn't think of it.
Yeah, I don't
because I've never once thought of that, to be honest with you.
Me neither. Like, well, the customization goes far beyond. You can choose different facial features, skin tones, hair color. I love the purple, by the way. It could be. I feel like
they could do it
something very cosmetic, something that you just know.
Yeah.
That you selected in the beginning. That's it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt.
Because you would just do it with your sometimes like the name screen, like you'll be able to name your first name or whatever, and that'll be the whole screen. There will be no like country of origin, but
this is the question that I answered, and well, I have my recorded one.
Yeah.
My question to you, what do you think we're gonna do with names? Are we gonna be able to name our character, or is it gonna be preset name?
You will name your character, and no character will call you by that name. That's my answer.
Okay, I had that. That was my first option. I thought second could be like in Assassin's Creed, like Eivor. It's universal name. But what if we write whatever name it can be? It's like, I don't know, a Doggo 357.
Yeah.
But the last name will remain the same, so they can call you by last name.
Mass Effect. You'd be doing Mass Effect then.
Okay.
Because you do Shepard, and that's what they would call you. But your first name could be. Mine, I tend to leave them alone. I'm not creative, and I've talked about that before. Like when it comes to customization, I kind of just do like the default. But yeah, even if you change your name in Mass Effect, say to Alex Shepard, you're still just. That's a good one. That's actually the best of in between. Because if you do a game where you can name yourself whatever, but nobody ever calls it to you, those games are fine because they let you pick your own name, and that's respectable.
Yeah.
But then nobody. Because of limitations, you can't have every name ever being said by all of these characters. So I get why you can't do it, but that hurts it. Because it's like, well, you're going to let us call ourselves whatever, but nobody else will ever call you it.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm fine with it because it's because now we know that they're narrated.
Yeah.
In Zelda, for example, you could call in a couple of Zeldas your character, not Link, but whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just text.
Yeah.
They just say nonsense in their language, voiced.
Let's see. I don't want to, because there's some good questions from small stuff. One person thought you could have been a developer from the game. I mean, you present yourself as such, but
no. But I mean, I worked in a acting agency.
Whoa.
A talent agency.
Nice.
So, and I worked with some big that they're more Latino actors, but they're big. They're like some on Netflix and stuff. So I have some insight on the industry. It was a really great experience. I learned a lot of little things.
If we don't have homework in the game, we riot. JK, better be able to write too. Man, yeah, I think that stuff would just honestly be completely skipped over, which is fine. I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the bots are back, and I didn't see it.
Oh no.
These bots, guys, I don't know. They've been a plague on YouTube for a long time.
Oh, they got hit. Like I stream also on Twitch. It's a nightmare when you get it is like a plague. If you get one, they flood with.
But I feel like YouTube there was a period of time in YouTube where it handled bots a lot better. And I feel like over the last half year, they took down their defense. They're like, we don't care. We literally do not care.
They find a way around.
Do you think the companions will have branching storylines like Ghost of Tsushima had? That's actually exactly how I think the side characters.
I haven't played that.
So Ghost basically is just, so you would have people you meet in the world, which you would be stretching. It was just a little bit different, but say the 4 friends from the 4 houses, right? So you'd meet them all, and then they have a storyline attached that would start, say, at 0%. You do quest 1, they get to 12. Then they go to a different location, maybe even a locked out location that you can't get to yet. So you have to complete the story. Then you go back, do another mission. Now they're 36% done, but they have a story, so they have a beginning to their arc of quest. They have a middle and they have an end. I love that, and I think that's the thing with the friends that's gonna, I think, upset people is that's what I think they're gonna be. I don't think they're gonna be romantic partners. I don't think you're gonna be able to do all that much. To be honest, I think there'll be a quest line. You'll live kind of like a story of them, and that'll be it. And that's okay. I'm okay with that, but I think people want more from it.
Yeah. I'm on the same. I'm on the same page with you.
Yeah.
With that we just. It's more like limited. Well, it's more like a game mechanic in general. You cannot have just dedicated thing. Like you're gonna start some quest. They're gonna have a storyline like that Sebastian guy. There's some curse there in the family, but
He'll tell a story. He'll tell a story, and you'll resolve it, and it'll be cool. And that's why I'm excited for it, because it'll basically be their extended side quests. They're long side, you know what I mean, for a specific character that you'll get a tale of, and you'll be able to see a beginning, middle, end. I think that's a room for growth, because if you made a sequel, I think it's because you're teenagers is honestly why I think they're avoiding it. Because if you were an adult, I think you could do romantic stuff like a Mass Effect.
Exactly. See, the thing is, one thing, they're still kids.
Yeah.
It's got like, I'm not looking forward to romance if they're, I don't know.
Yeah. It's a middle area because they're like 15.
It's a
like
very gray area.
Yeah.
It's like not, so that, and then also keep in mind that romance mechanics are separate sort of thing. It's like a feature bonus that they have to spend time on to make it happen. I would rather have more elaborate dungeons and some other explorable areas rather than being able to smush an NPC. That's like, I mean, Assassin's Creed had it, but first of all, that's a mature game. And that's a much bigger development.
There's kids in Bully, but it's Rockstar. I don't. Bully is a thing on its own.
I never played it, though.
Somebody said there are also kids in Bully. I get it.
But at the same time, in Hogwarts Mystery.
Yeah.
But see, okay, here's my point about this, that Hogwarts Mystery didn't have much to offer.
Yeah.
Except some story bits.
Yeah.
And just the you're in Hogwarts, you customize because you wait, it's less of a game than just experience.
Yeah.
So that feature of like, oh yeah, you can have dating that's more like story related, it works there. But in Hogwarts Legacy, I feel like if you want to have elaborate game, if they already decided not to include Quidditch full time, I feel like romance was not the first thing they were thinking about.
It's how you it's the mentality of how you build it, because you think like the first one I think it would be Mass Effect, but Mass Effect really is about those your crew, and they have those side and the side missions are kind of similar in a way maybe to like a Ghost of Tsushima, but they are integral. Like the characters are the integral thing. Obviously there's a story and all that stuff, but the characters are integral, so you get close to them enough, or you complete their specific mission that you don't have to do, then you unlock and there are cutscenes. There are 2-3 cutscenes where you're more intimate with them. And that works because it's massive. I feel like it works because that's how the game is built. Hogwarts is not, built, because I even think like when the characters are with you fighting, I think that's going to be limited. I don't think you're going to have a partner for that much of the game. It's going to be like a modern day Horizon, Days Gone. I don't know if I haven't played really too much of like Assassin's Creed, but like where some missions you're gonna have a partner with you in AI, but there's plenty of missions where you'll be on your own. I feel like that's gonna be this game, which is fine. But Mass Effect is like you always have your crew. It's always a party. And this one, it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, companions in general, that's like a new sort of thing here, because I'm just used to when we're like you have a second person playing with you only when you're doing the mission of that NPC, but here it looks like different. For example, like State of Decay, I play State of Decay 2.
Yeah.
There you can enlist a follower and have 2 people at like any given moment.
Yep.
So that's interesting. Like that's a new little mechanic that they add in. But yeah, I feel like we might have some like friendship and might be some hints of like that. Oh, like there's some maybe affection, but it's not like, oh, we're gonna go to a ball or have something like that, or a date. Maybe, but it's like, again, it's going back to the same thing. If Quidditch was on the board at some point during the development, right, and they had to say no, like, okay, we got to make a sacrifice.
Yeah.
If they sacrificed Quidditch, they would have sacrificed a romance.
I'd imagine.
More than that.
Wait, didn't Bloomberg do an article on Hogwarts Legacy putting LGBTQ relationships into the game, or was that just character creation? I believe that was character creation.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. That was a thing people freaked out in the beginning, and there was a whole thing of how inclusive are they going to be, and that was Bloomberg was a Schreier and all kinds of stuff.
From everything that has happened, which I think they would just go like, okay, you can create any character you want, like any member, like just you can create, customize however you want.
Hi guys, great Hogwarts Legacy content. Thank you for the super chat, David. Guess Horcruxes will be going too deep if we take the dark path? ? 5th year is a crucial year mentioned by Charms Professor. So are we expecting owls? Okay, so 2 parts. Will there be Horcruxes? I'm gonna say there actually will be. And then
Horcruxes?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really think about it before, but now I'm like, it is a craft. It is. It's like you can learn this skill, like Voldemort did at some point. He didn't know. Like he asked a professor how to do
I
it.
think it could be at the very least loosely mentioned. Or like you read about it or something. Well, and this wasn't. Well, let's answer his, because this is part of a question I actually saw other people mentioning about how good or how bad could you get. So we'll get there. But then about the owls, I've made a specific video on owls. What do you think? Do you think we'll take that test?
It's funny. Like, I feel like we're gonna be preparing the entire game, but then something's gonna happen as part of the mission.
Yeah, we wouldn't do it.
But at the same time, it would be, the developers could see it as fun experience to have, for the fans, a little trivia test experience of the lore and of the subjects. It probably most are gonna suck because if you think the lore,
I'd probably fail it, to be honest with you. I have no doubt.
Fail too. Like, I tried that. No, there's some really tough questions. Like, I know the lore pretty well, but I haven't read the books in a while.
Same. Yeah. Exposing ourselves. Okay, so all right, so let's take that. Because I have talked about.
What do you think about the owls?
I think you will, and I think they could do it like Persona, where you just simply answer a couple. I don't know if you played Persona, but Persona, like you would get. So in Persona, you go to the classes, you get asked like a question every third day, and then at the end of the month, you take an exam, and the exam are those questions that you were asked throughout the month. And you simply you have to basically repeat them. But some can be missing, and because they may ask you 7 questions during the month, but then the test could be 5, and you could get the questions wrong in the moment, and they'll tell you no, that's not right, and they'll give you the answer. But you could you could skip the whole thing. You don't have to be paying attention, and then you'll fail the test, and that gives you buffs. Like, it'll level you up, your experience more. I like that idea, and I think that's
cool.
Kind of a cop-out, easy way. Simply, there's a main lesson taught in potions once a month, and at the end of the year, they ask you 12 questions that you have already been asked throughout the. It's just a second time. Easy, fan servicey. Easy. Yeah, I think they'll do it.
I agree. Yeah. And it sounds cool.
Regan just gave a super chat with no question or anything on it, so thank you, buddy. All right, so let's answer this question: how dark or how light do you think the game will let you go?
Okay, well, first thing, define dark.
Can you kill somebody?
Yes, because
a person, not like a monster or like a statue.
I think so.
Because in the trailer, I'm pretty sure when they use Avada Kedavra, it's not a human being.
No, it's Goblin. There is a moment.
Yeah.
I specifically got the 4K version. If you zoom in, that's a Goblin.
Okay.
You can see him.
I think you'll be able to kill a human being at some point in this game.
Me too. Yeah. But okay, so I think also, yes, we can kill either a creature like Goblin or a human. But what? Okay. Can we go? What would define us become darker than killing someone?
Well, it would either have to be. Now, the issue is we still don't really know the bait. Like, we know part, like the Goblin Rebellion, like we know part of the story, but I feel like they're leaving like a big part of like the story quest out purposely. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I would feel like kind of generically, but also it's something that you've seen before, but it makes sense. You'd either like join the villain or kill the villain to become the villain. Like, that would be bad. And then good would be subduing them, not killing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Because I think, yeah. I don't know, because like it's I don't know, like in Harry Potter, would you, if you're bad, would you team up with Voldemort or would you kill Voldemort to become Voldemort? Like, what would be the darker thing to do there?
Yeah, like,
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I had one experience only in terms of playing 2 sides. So I played Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth.
Great game. Oh my god.
I love it so much. So there you could have a good campaign and an evil campaign. And good campaign, you just play through the movies like normal, right?
Yeah.
You win the thing, and then the evil one, you kill Gandalf, you kill everybody, you destroy Minas Tirith,
Yeah.
and then the evil wins. So that's like a parallel reality where that happens.
I don't think you can go too because I think they're gonna really try to keep it within lore. So I don't think you'll be able to like kill the headmaster and take over Hogwarts. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah. No.
I respect games that go wild. Infamous.
But what about Professor? This Professor Fig.
Yes.
What about him?
Oh man.
Maybe he's gonna be the one who's actually evil. We'll have to kill him.
Yeah. 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 I thought you were gonna say, yeah. Well, killing him, man, it's tough. Because like I think of Infamous as the first one I think of, where the good and bad of Infamous 2 is just so wide. You can't come back from bad, and that's why people were so upset when they kept going and they changed characters, but without knowing anything about Infamous for those who don't. But that's why I think you have to keep it very centered. So,
right, but at the same time, like if you go bad, that's as if you're in parallel reality. Just like in Lord of the Rings, it never happened. Mordor never won.
But they're so proud of how much wiggle room, yet they're not going to do anything nuts like with lore. You know what I mean? I just feel like the way they've talked to have it be a non-canonical, as I say, non-canonical. I'm bad with English. To do that, I just feel like that would break their kind of golden rule that they're so proud of.
Right.
It's tough. But I do think you'll kill the bad ending. You will probably kill somebody. I think you'll be able to kill before that, but you'll probably kill a individual. In the cutscene of the bad ending, you'll kill an individual, and then in the good ending, you will not kill that individual. Like that's.
Yeah.
I think for sure.
I agree, but also, that there's the reason why they chose this timeline where there's a gap. Like they can do so much. They can destroy Hogwarts and rebuild it back together.
Can they?
No one really talked about it. People forgot about it. Everyone was obliviated. It's easy, kind of as that. That's why it's like in that pocket where they can explore anything. Yeah. And so,
but you do have Dumbledore one school year apart from you. Yeah. So you have to be careful,
And now the question, we can after being evil, how many years are we in Hogwarts?
Yeah, just the age-old. Well, I've already answered, so I'll give it to you. What do you think? Okay. What do you think? 1 year, all the 3 that you're still left?
If they show us summer ASMR, it's multiple years.
Okay. All right, so that's where I'm at. Now, me and Expecto Go walked ourselves through it where we think it would end at the end of at best, it would end at the end of year 6 and maybe tease Dumbledore being sorted in year 7. I personally believe you will not have Dumbledore in like the last third of the game that feels forced, that feels kind of randomized. So if you do all 3 years, firstly, you have to think of 3 main plots that take place over 3. You know what I mean? He's like a Goblin Rebellion or Harry Potter. Like each year is like a isolated event. So you would need 3 of those if you're going 5. And then if you do that, you're not really spending so much time in classes. You're not really exploring Hogwarts because now you have to skip. It's almost like the movies. You have to skip multiple months because you have to cover 3 years now. Yeah. So my answer is 2, and you tease going into the 7th year because that's when Dumbledore. You don't even have to show him. You just, but we know that that's when he comes. Yeah. Because if you go into that year, now Dumbledore still then becomes very important to us. You know what I mean? It's like a new friend, but we can't be friends with him now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I that sounds good to me. Like in general, at least having 2 years, that's like it's exciting enough.
Or do you think, because here's the most disappointing thing it could be. Yes, they do this. They're doing like having 4 seasons means summer needs to take place in this game. But does summer take place in this game because that's when you get like your letter and that's like the opening cutscene. So that's summer. That's what I'm worried. Yeah, I'm worried about that because that is a very easy cop out to where you have all 4 seasons right there. Then
and at the very end, you can just hold on. What happens when we finish the storyline? Do we just stuck in time? We don't go anywhere. The game doesn't end. Will the game let us roam and do whatever?
So my answer, I've been asked this. My answer is as simple as what games generally do, and I think this game will do it honestly as well. It'll put you right before the last mission. So you know how you'll have like a waypoint that you'll walk to activate the final quest of the game.
Will tell you, oh, this is it.
Yeah, there's no going back.
You can't go back.
Yeah, yep. You'll do it, and then they'll reset you to right there, and then you can do anything else in the world, and that'll still be I would put money down is how confident I am that that's what they're gonna do.
Okay, that's fair. And yeah, I mean, at the same time, if it's gonna be 1 year, I feel like it could still be a rich year. I'm gonna be fine with that. I'm more excited about like winter as a season in general. But yeah, I wish it's a
win-win. It's a win-win because if you do 1 year, you get a really fleshed out 1 year. Like it's super detailed, more detailed than any book has ever been, and it really is. It can be insane. Yeah. If you have multiple years, well, I guess it opens up. Okay, well, where does the game end? Are we gonna graduate, and can you be like an Auror, or can you go to the Ministry of Magic? I mean, there's some cool stuff that as you're playing, you're like, oh man, we're going into year 6, which means we're gonna go into year 7. So what's gonna happen? It is cool. My issue again though is like you're gonna have to do a lot of jumping around because again, time management. The developers did not make like 1,100 days of gameplay for this game. Like how many 3 years is. Like that's not how it works, right? So if it is 3 years, they're skipping a lot of sections. You deal with a quest, and then you jump to Christmas. You deal with another thing, you jump to graduation of that year. Then that's how it would have to be because it just is. That's how it works.
Yep. I don't see it being Animal Crossing where it's like linked to the real time. Yeah, it would be sick.
Yeah,
but that's a different mechanic. Yep. Absolutely, I feel like.
Well, we've covered a lot of bases here, and we hit an hour and a half. I feel like now's a good time to. Well, let me say, is there any final thoughts you want to say about Hogwarts or to the chat, and then we'll plug your channel and all that at the end here.
I don't know, like what I have to say.
Do you think it'll be Game of the Year?
Also the same. People ask that question in the video. It could be because there's so many categories. Yeah. And like I feel like there will be a category where it will become a Game of the Year. Yeah. Because it's so funny how you like in 1 year after the Game Awards you get so many games that say the Game of the Year, but they don't specify which
none of them actually won it. Yeah.
Just the Game of the Year, but there's like 50 of them. So yeah.
Well, this is a huge super chat, so I want to get it. How big do you think the game will be content-wise? Many are expecting Red Dead 2, etc. I don't think it'll be anywhere near Rockstar. Thank you, Nerdy Giant, again for the support today, man. I have said main story 20 to 25. I'm going to be very conservative. 20 to 25 hours, and then everything else is the same. So 50. If I can walk out having 100%ing the game, got the platinum, got all the achievements, 50 hours, I'll be happy. If it's 80, I'll also be happy. But if it's like 30, like 50 is kind of my to do everything. If it's 50, I don't think a game needs to be 100. I don't think a game needs to be 90. There can be games for 40, 50 hours that are phenomenal. You know what I mean? So that's what I would want and hope.
So I want it to be kind of like with Zelda. Sort of like, so if you do just the main missions, like I'm like somewhere like I feel like 20 to 30-ish story. Yeah. But then if you want to do the quest, you can take you 100+ hours because that's what I come back playing Zelda all the time. And I want that for Hogwarts Legacy, so it's really that good that I just come back, exploring little new.
There's a lot of wiggle room with because there really can't, like, I'm assuming the side stuff is equal in time to the main. The side stuff is normally more, right? So if it's 20 out, even 20, which is probably short, so maybe 25 for the main story. If there's 40, you're at 65. You know what I mean? I think that, and there can be, because you could try to level up all the way. Most games won't require you to be the highest level with all abilities unlocked for that final mission, right? You can do that on your own. You don't have to do that. So that's extra time with fighting. to find all the layers, to find all the collectibles. It's going to take you more time, right? Yeah. I think I'm hoping at least 50. If it's less, I would be severely disappointed. I think it'll probably be like 60, 65. Makes
yeah, because
works.
even thinking that they made this giant Hogwarts, an open world, just walking. I mean, of course, there's going to be a fast travel, but you still have to get to fast travel. I think the map is going to be huge, which I'm still excited to see just the full scale.
Yep.
Like of the around world, the Hogsmeade and the Hogwarts itself. Oh my God! Like I'm just thinking about it gets me nuts because I know pretty well the layouts of Hogwarts through Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince games because they had pretty like very close to movie replicas.
Yeah.
I'm so excited what they added, what other areas, what can we do to this castle? Because like seeing those symbols in the ASMR video, what are those? What do we change? Do we light up things or do we? I have so many questions and just I can't wait to be getting answers.
Well, final question. This is another super chat. You guys are rocking it with the support. Final question. It's a yes or no. Oh my God, another super chat. Will we be able to choose our blood type? Yes or no? I think yes.
What blood type?
Like Muggle. Like that. I literally thought by blood type they did mean what kind of blood. Like you're.
Yes, like
I thought that too.
Yes. I don't.
I feel it as long as they don't emphasize it as a point of the story. Again, it's like country of origin. If it has nothing to do with the game itself and it doesn't hurt anybody by choosing, you know what I mean, then you could do it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
If it matters where you came from, like you say, like their parents, if it matters,
it could be though. That's what I'm thinking. Like my thing, I feel like it could be something in the story. We learn about it. It makes us half-blood.
Right. Yeah. And in that case, you would. Yeah. If the story dictates where you came from and who you are in that way in your blood, then you wouldn't be able to pick it because you kind of ruin it. Steph just says, "Great podcast, guys. Just want to say thanks." Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody. So quick wrap up to end this. I mean, I want to thank Benjamin so much for being here. Again, I tried to get him for a while, but I'm so happy he's here. Make sure you guys support him because he does amazing stuff. Just another, and I truly mean this, these gaming journalists and all this stuff that say like we're the worst people on planet Earth. I don't really care what you think of me. But I mean, I've met Ben and Retro Raconteur and Expecto Go. I mean, these are incredible people that I don't think you guys care what Kotaku says, but we're not, what they say we are. So, Ben, thank you so much.
I gotta say to you, I'm always impressed about amount of content you always put out. I don't know,
Thanks.
but I have a question actually to you. What is your most challenging part about being a content creator, making videos?
Oh man, I guess this may sound lame or may sound like I'm not trying to strike pat myself on the back. I guess like picking what I want to cover each day because I cover so much stuff. Right. Because to be flat honest with you, like I don't want to cop out and say like if a video does bad, like I don't really get as down on myself as I think others do. But the reason is I make too many videos, so I can always bounce back like the next day. You know what I mean? Like it never gets me too down because I say I have 15 more videos, cooking away. So, but I guess it's that. I mean, and I guess the hardest thing would probably be from like a YouTube perspective. YouTube hates channels like mine. Like I've said it before because I cover too much. So YouTube doesn't know what I am. You know what I mean? It knows Retro Raconteur is a Hogwarts creator. So it pushes that. It doesn't know what I am because I cover too much. So
I see. See, that's what I kind of.
It's what I like. I couldn't, and I'm not bashing any of you or anybody in general that does this. I could never just do videos on one topic. I could even Hogwarts. I mean, we just spent 2 hours talking. I could never every day just make a Hogwarts video. I would quit. I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? So it hurts me YouTube wise, but I would never want to box myself in on one thing.
I mean, honestly, if I was able to talk like that, like right now we're talking more or less fine. Like it's, but when I have to record something, I write like a script.
Oh yeah.
I suck at making takes. I make too many of them, and then I spend hours like.
But hey,
it's like,
judging from my I mean, I'm serious. I'm not. I'm not kissing up to you. I mean, the people love you, and they what I've seen. I mean, they love your personality. I love the work you put in. Like, I'm not like, you guys are much better visual effects, or what, like building videos. You guys are I pump them out, but you guys do really good work, in the presentation. So, but there's a little something for everybody. I mean, again, that's why this Hogwarts community is so awesome, because you could watch all of us and I think get something different, from all of us.
Right. And I actually, I don't, like, I'm covering mostly like Hogwarts Legacy right now, but I talked a little bit about, I tried talking about God of War. It didn't
well,
really
your stuff. Yeah, it seems like your stuff.
Lord of the Rings, like, for example, like I have a few games that I'm passionate about, I'm looking forward to, and so I'm like adding things little by little, like once I have time, because like I also have. Oh, by the way, like, do you have life with uploads?
Well, a person did ask. Like, so this is my full-time job. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Do I have a wife? Also, I have a wife. I'm married. And I have a daughter. She's 8.5. So,
nice.
So yeah, I keep busy.
That's amazing, because like keeping up with the amount of content that you put up, and also having a family, that's admirable.
You guys all. I mean, you rock. Expecto. I mean, all of you guys are incredible. And again, I truly mean this. I mean, the community is nice. I mean, again, like if you listen to Kotaku, you think our communities are just the worst people on planet Earth, and it's like the community is very, like, I don't even like to use the word inclusive because it gets spun around so much, but it is inclusive. You can be anybody and be part of these groups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite of what they think that people
we are the reflection of gaming, because gaming at the end of the day is escapism, is a place where you can be whoever you want to be. And that's what we love about it. Like, and we want to go in the world and dive ourselves and then go away from the mundane life. And we do that, and we're representing that. So whoever you are, you like this game, we don't care what color you are, what orientation, who you enjoy to be with. No, it's you just. Do
you think you can swim in the game? Do you care about one? I mean, these are the nerdy questions we care about. We don't care who you are.
Yes. Can you swim? Can you customize a wand? Can you? How evil can you be? That's what we.
These are the pressing questions, not who you are on the inside. Well, one quick one for you. Will you cover Breath of the Wild 2? Somebody asked. Steph asked. There's your thing. I mean, you
not cover.
Yeah.
Probably not cover, but probably play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and like I said, I mean, everybody does things very differently from each other. Ben has his own style, and that's why people like him. Retro Raconteur has his own style. I have my own style. So I guess final thing, of course, make sure you guys are supporting Ben. Am I pointing? Oh God, I think he's this way. His link, if you just hit the @ symbol, it's in the description. @Ben Snow. You click that, you can subscribe to him. Want to thank him again. Again, we'll have him back. I mean, I know I saw a lot of you guys early on talking about maybe different people or getting people back on. That's the plan. So I have a couple other interviews lined up, and then I'm going to try to get everybody together. It's going to be a blast, and we still have a bit until the game comes out. I'd love to have Ben back on and all that stuff. So this is not the end of our journey just yet. But again, one last time, Ben, thank you so much for being here. I have to end it like that.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you. There's actually, I would love to talk about other games, like the possible Lord of the Rings, the Shadow War sequel or anything. That's a whole different topic. I want to get back to it.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you all on the next video.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Very good.